We have another community question. I think it's less of a question, but more like a situation and what to do. I guess that's kind of a question. But anyway, I'm gonna heavily paraphrase this. But, Billy, I am into tarot cards. And I got a soulmate reading. And I have this recurring character in many readings. And all the readers, and I don't know if it's an actual like person reading these things or not, but consistently they keep saying you will meet a soulmate soon. And I even had personalized readings with specific time frames, and all of those time frames have passed. So basically, tarot card reading, one after the other, about relationships and soulmates, and they all say it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. But it's not. It's not happening in real life. And therefore, I just feel really hurt by this whole situation. I never asked for this. Why dangle something I want the most in front of me and keep me waiting forever? Why did I have to hear this message? Why am I waiting for someone who is clearly never coming? But if it's not this, what do I do to find love? This has been going on for a really long time. It gave me hope when I had bad days, but now it just makes me angry. And my problem is I'm not able to let it go and keep thinking about it. I just want to go back in time and never have heard about this idea in the first place. Even if I do meet this perfect soulmate, I want to reject them out of spite. I don't know how to stop thinking about it. So the root of your problem that you are experiencing in your life, the root of the suffering that you are experiencing in your life, right, is in the last part. You can't stop thinking about it, which means it's in the realm of mental illness. Now, I'm not saying it's like, like you need to be hospitalized or anything with stigma like that, right? But neurologically, thoughts come and they go. Thoughts come and then they go. Urges arise and then they sink down. That's how things work, right? So, heart, it pumps blood, right? And heart has 4 chambers, right? And 2 of them are in receiving and the 2 of them are in pumping, right? So that's why there's 2 types of blood vessels. One goes through and with the oxygenated blood, and one returns it to the heart and the lungs and the things like that, right? So there's 2 types of it. So this is how the body is supposed to work based on our observation of it over statistical analysis of organs, and when you look at the chemical composition of the organs and what they do. For example, digestion, stomach, large intestine, small intestine, they're all very porous, right? They have different membrane layers that allow for different nutrients and chemicals to pass through. But, okay, so when you have a kidney failure, kidney's not doing its job, right? What that means is kidney is supposed to have a membrane in a healthy human being that passes these chemicals and filters this so that your bloodstream gets blah 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 blah. But kidney failure indicates that kidney is not doing that job. That organ is supposed to have this role. Same with liver failure, with like cirrhosis, like with alcoholism and things like that. Your liver is supposed to be this like really big detoxifying organ, right? But if it's not detoxing, that means toxins that were supposed to be filtered at the liver are now circulating around your body. Okay, so just like that, your brain is supposed to have thoughts arising, and your brain is supposed to react to stimulus, but then you're an adaptive human being, right? So it's supposed to, in a healthy brain, it's supposed to come and go and come and go and come and go and come and go, retain some memory, throw away some, expel them in a dream or whatever, and then commit some of them to long-term memory and so on. But right now, your brain is not performing the letting go part. Or it is overstimulated in the catching part. So you have to understand that you can work through this with my suggested approaches, right? Of the 3-minute plank, 108 bows, meditation. You can go through this by developing a solid sense of yourself and being able to not get swept away by the thoughts. Or you can get, in-person experience of like talking about this with me, get some like FaceTime with me, and then you can talk about it and then process. Like I can help you navigate the feelings, right? I can help you, I can ask you questions about what it is that's clearly like getting you stuck in here, why you got into, you can work through those things with me, right? But at the same time, you have to understand that this may be a result of your brain not properly doing its job. So it's a form of OCD. So, if you have the resources and the option available to you, yes, you could do it the meditation way. Yes, you could do it the coaching way, and I'm happy to do it with you. But at the same time, it may just be a lot easier if you can get medicated, and if you can get the kind of the medical diagnosis and the medical attention for OCD. But with that said, let's think about this. Suppose this isn't your life, right? And it's a movie character. And this movie character is having this crazy resentment about this like soulmate. And now instead of a tarot reading, let's say this movie character has is from a fortune telling family, or in that culture there's a big like fortune telling prophecy kind of a thing. And then they were prophesized for something, and then the prophecy is never coming true for them. So a good example of this is like Encanto, right? In Encanto, the whole family is magical, but the main protagonist doesn't have the magic, right? So when you look at that, and basically I'm trying to get you to remove yourself and just try to examine this phenomenon itself. The character from Encanto isn't really all that like fixated and obsessed about the lack of their magical prowess, right? But for your case, you are very attached to this. What would be the primary difference there? What makes a person attached to something? For you, it's a relationship and this idea of a soulmate. For other people, it can be success in their business. For other people, it can be being promoted to a certain position. For other people, it can be cars. For other people, it can be winning in auctions. It can be winning in like video games. There's a lot of these things that you or anyone can be really fixated on. So, what makes someone fixated on a certain topic? It's this big discrepancy between not having that resource, which is a big negative, and the big positive that you will get when you have this. So the gap between what you have to win and what you have to lose is so big. Okay, so if the gap is that big, right? Why don't we do something about it? Like, if I knew that, for example, I'm a life coach, right? And suppose I want to be famous on the internet, And so I want a famous person as my client. Now I could DM influencers. I could DM celebrities and be like, I want to be your life coach. Right? I could totally do that. But I could also be like, man, I really want other people to DM me. I want famous people to DM me. I really want famous people. I want these like really popular influencers to reach out to me. I want them to be my client. Why aren't they being my client? So what's the difference between those two? Why does one lean one way or the other? And it has really to do with your perception of your capacity, your capability. I can DM people because I believe I can. But what may be missing from your life is that you are too exhausted and you are too tired and you are feeling so defeated that you have lost the ability to think that this is a possibility for you. You have lost the idea that you can get this. And now, all the remaining possibility is them to come to you. But realistically speaking, your soulmate is not going to come with the name badge that says, I am your soulmate, yeah? Realistically, you would not be able to tell if someone is your soulmate or not from the first glance, right? Because realistically, nobody is going to come to you and start telling you that you are their soulmate. How did I know my wife was my soulmate? I dated her, and I learned that over time. Turns out I feel really, really comfortable, and I feel like myself when I'm with her. And while I could experience that with other people, I just really feel this really intimate feeling that I don't think at this moment in time see the point of relinquishing and finding out whether there is another one. I decided through experience, through comparative experience, through the goods and bads of having a wonderful phase in our relationship to having some rocky moments in our relationships. And I evaluated both, and turns out, hey, the worst thing that happens in this relationship is still better than not having this person at all in my life. And when I experienced the good with my wife, turns out it's really amazing. And she also says she feels very like her when she is with me. Okay, so now we know by comparative experience, right? So without that experience, it can be the same person. And it's been 10 years since I married my wife and we dated for 3 years, so let's rewind time 13 years. And someone told me, you're gonna marry this person, and this person is your soulmate. I would have been like, I don't know, like, how would I know? Or, if I'm in your shoes right now, right? Because I met my wife through introduction. Somebody introduced us to each other. Then I would just blindly believe that this must be the person. And now when I walk in with that expectation, you're supposed to be my soulmate, then guess what? Like, at the time my wife, without us knowing each other, it's not gonna meet that expectation. So, same person. But soulmates, this idea of a soulmate, you are soulmated through the experience of the relationship and through the experience of romance. Because why? That's how you're able to tell. And sometimes who you thought you were soulmates might not end up getting in marriage, or you may be divorced. But that's fine, because now you have a better idea of what makes a person your soulmate, right? And the soulmate is eventually acquired through your relationship with romance. And this applies to not just romance, but everything in your life. But again, you right now at this moment don't have it in you to proactively go for it because of whatever reason. You may be burnt out from life. You may have a lot of trauma around relationship. You may just have a really be in a period of time where you have really, really low sense of self-worth. These are all things that may be happening, but in the end, you have a very weakened sense of self, and that is what is contributing to all the problems. So what needs to happen? Finding your sense of self is great, but especially because this is a phenomenon that has to do with the brain, right? If you can get some medical treatment for it after a proper diagnosis, that can be very, very helpful in speeding up the process of moving past these urges that grip your mind.